If you can hear me and see me, please let me know that in the chat box. Hi, Bianca. Welcome all the way from Mexico. Perfect. So we're just gonna let some more people trickle in, and then we could start the presentation. It's a new backdrop. Yeah, it's our new backdrop. Hi from Trinidad and Tobago. Hi, Paula. Hi, Tawny. Welcome, welcome. Sorry, I'm just fidgeting with the camera a little bit. How is everyone doing? Where's everyone coming from? I know a couple of you where you're from. So Tawny, I think this is maybe not your first time, is it? Because I think I've seen your name before. Where are you coming from? Oh, we got from Fulton. I think that's New York, right? Morning, Lisa. Thank you for joining, Lisa. Hi, Lori. You've come a couple of times, Lori. I think I've seen your name a couple of times, so thank you. Cambridge. Yes, you have. Okay, because I remember that name. Unique name, Tawny. The way it's spelt. Yes, Lori, you've been a great support. Thank you. Great to have everyone today. This is awesome. I'm glad you guys can take a little bit of your time to be here with me today, and we can discuss a little bit of the consultation, which is great. Christiane from New Jersey, New York. Welcome, Christiane. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to begin. We've got a good attendance today, which is awesome. This is great. So give me a few of your shout outs and then I'll start in 1 more minute. So hello. I'll give you my shout out. I'm Chrissy from from Ukraine. Oksana, I've seen your name before. I don't think I realized you were from Ukraine. I think you've attended a couple of the webinars. Hope all is well with you, Oksana. Josie, Switzerland. Ooh, Switzerland. One place I would like to go. Welcome, Josie. So I almost forgot where I'm from. So I'm from Canada, in Ontario, the province, and in Toronto specifically. So you're welcome, Oksana. I hope I'm saying it correct. Yeah, so today, thank goodness, our weather is nice and warm. It's been quite a cold couple of days. Very odd. Today's our first day of summer, so welcome summer. But the past 3 days was chilly, like cold. You were frozen. Wasn't nice. So I'm glad the sun's out and it's a warm day. Hello, Benita. I think I've seen your name too. Benita, thank you. Welcome. Okay, so we're going to start. So today we know that the presentation is no demo. It's mostly about the importance of proper consultation aftercare. This is great reminder for us every so often because sometimes we might deviate a little bit or forget the importance of doing a consultation, why we should be doing a consultation, why we should be filling a consent form, why we should do patch tests and so forth. Lots of wealth information to help us to stay on track. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. Hey, Brandy, I know your name too. Welcome from Dallas. Welcome. Great support. Thank you so much. Okay, so let me pop on the PowerPoint so we can start following the PowerPoint. Perfect. Okay, so once again, sorry, for those that are joining in, I'll do once again a brief introduction. My name is Chrissy. I'm the lead RefectoCil trainer for North America. My passion for RefectoCil, as you know, when you've seen the webinars, is intense. I love it. I love working directly with Austria, which is amazing. Great team, great brand to be working with. And I want to be able to share that love with you guys and appreciate the brand. So specifically today, we're not targeting a brand, but we're talking about not targeting brand. We're not demoing anything with the brand RefectoCil, but if we're talking about aftercare, we'll know that we're talking about the styling gel if we're talking about aftercare procedures. Okay, so let's start off with the PowerPoint. If you have any questions, please ask it in the text box, and I would gladly love to answer your questions. Okay. And if you feel like you want to share with each other, this is the opportunity. We're a little family here of professionals. Sorry. Of professionals. If you want to share your love of anything you liked of RefectoCil and you want to share it with the chat, by all means, this is your opportunity to get to know the rest of the family of RefectoCil users. Okay. So let's start to why is there a lack of knowledge of proper client consultation? Well, we know that when we are in the beauty schools, most time that we do spend, and I feel right nowadays, if you go to any beauty school, it's kind of adjusted a little bit better. But even when I went to school, we're learning more to perfect our skills while we're there as estheticians. So we have several skills to perfect, whether it's pedicures, manicures, facials, um, body treatments, waxing. We're perfecting those, right? We're preparing for state board or provincial examinations if we're being licensed, right? And then we're learning all the knowledge when it comes to analyzing the skin and treating our clients. So we spend most of the time. Most of the time learning that sometimes the lack of knowledge or the lack of training of a proper consultation is missing in our education. So as it says at the last paragraph, it says this means that there's not enough time to learn proper consultation procedures in schools. I see there was a question. Each of our products, Oksana, and thank you, Bianca, each of our products behind any of the bottles, tubes, or whatever, there's an icon of a container that has a lid open with a number inside it. That means how many months the product is good before it expires. Okay, so all of the RefectoCil products have that icon. But thank you for answering, Bianca. Okay, so the importance of client consultation. We know that a thorough client consultation is a very absolute must. Okay, we shouldn't deviate around it. We shouldn't neglect it. To every new client who sits in your chair or lies in your bed, this is the opportunity to understand your client's needs and wants. It allows you to ask questions and to also listen to those questions so that you can prevent any of that communication mishap that might happen. We don't want that to happen, especially if we're dealing with the client's skin area or on the skin. We need to know what conditions they might have. Data production, you would have to send that in to us and we would have to find out. The tints last for about 3 years closed, up to 3 years closed. So data production, that's something that the manufacturer has to break down. Okay, Oksana. So as a professional, it is your responsibility to fully understand the hair, skin, nail, or scalp needs of your client. The only way to do this is to give a thorough consultation. During that consultation, you're going to be able to ask all those important questions, write your notes on their form, and have that as a reference. Okay. Proper client consultation is also important in establishing a good business relationship with your client. Happy customer means you're going to have less complaints with a perfect salon spa consultation. So we want to avoid any complaints, and we want to have our customers leaving outside of our salon and spa being very happy. We know that we go visit the salon and spa, that it helps with our mental well-being. It helps us feel good about ourselves. So that's why we do seek out to get these treatments. So we want them right until A, when they come in, to Z, when they get out, that they are maintaining that happiness with whatever is going on. Okay. So the purpose of a consultation, three main things why you would do a consultation is to find out what a client wants to change about their look, wants to achieve about their look. They want to change it, but what is achievable? That's where your consultation with them comes into play to suggest your professional expertise, what can be done, and then seeing that your customer is liking it or understanding why this treatment or this treatment or this treatment needs to be done, and wants to attain for their look. So the current look, which can include, that should say their hair, nails, brows, lashes, or skin, are either in a state that they do not like or want to change. That's the reason why they might come to you for any of these, for example, if it's RefectoCil, any of these lash or brow services. They might want to change something. They might not have liked something before, or they might have had a bad experience with somebody else. and they're coming for you for that change. So it's very important that you understand why they're there and what's the change that you're going to make for them, or what's the change you're going to do for them, but it's going to make them happy and not repeat what happened to them at a previous salon or spa. Okay, so they may now want their desired look. They may know that their desired look is. So your client may know what their desired look is, but they need you as an expert, that voice of expert, to give their advice and helping them get there. Okay, and maybe something might not work right for them, and you have another suggestion that especially when we're framing the face with lashes and brows, maybe one look that they're wanting to attain is not the right look that you feel would be for them. You as a professional can explain to them why and what would be the correct service that would work for them. So that is where our professional beauty expertise comes through. Okay, thanks, but I can't find this date. It is a code on or inside a box, as I understand. Sorry, Oksana, the production date, you can't get that. It has to be done by the manufacturer. So you just have to give us the lot number, and that's on top of the tubes. Okay, it's engraved on the tube or on the box. It's a lot number. Okay. Okay, the biggest reasons clients change salons or spas is that they want a change and did not feel their current professional offered this. So you're going to probably get a lot of that a clientele coming that they weren't satisfied before and seeking for the right person to achieve what they want. And that's why the consultation is very important. Great consultations are the best way to avoid complaints, as we mentioned before. If you ask the right questions and get the client's agreement that they're in unison with you, you will minimize any misunderstanding. Okay. Most complaints are not because of bad technical ability, but because of a mismatch between what the client expects and what they receive. So if there's a complaint, it's not you, it's not necessarily your technique that you did and how you perform the services, because you're well versed in doing these services. It's because there was a miscommunication between you and your customer, that you probably didn't achieve what they wanted when you agreed you're going to give them what they came for. Okay. So ways to perfect your client consultation. Now we'll go through some different ways of what we can do. And once again, you're probably already doing a lot of these, but they could also be reminders for the ones that you might be missing. You want to perfect it. You want to make sure that you set yourself apart differently from the salon down the street that's just getting their clients in and out just like that. Okay. So your consultation card, or as we call it, your consent form. This document is truly essential and must always be filled in by your clients. All your first time clients should be filling in a client consent form. It's a must. Then your returning customers, every 6 months, you should be bringing this out and going through it to make sure that nothing has changed, or if there's any change in their medication or so forth, anything that has changed, you're going to adjust. Okay. And I just said on this consent form, we have new consent forms that you can download, much nicer than this one in the image here, much more informative, lots more questions you can ask. If you're downloading the brow lamination one, it has questions about what type of brow shape they want, what type of condition their brows are in now. Like, there's a lot of questions you need to ask, not just get them in and sit them in the chair and get it over with, right? You want that loyalty between you and your customer. So you can, I'm sure after this email, I probably have put it into the thank you email, but any of the consent form files, you can download them on our website under resources. Okay. So the client consultation consent form should ask questions about their current skincare routine. When you're thinking about lash and brow styling by RefectoCil, actually understanding about their skincare routine does help you because you are placing solutions when you're doing a brow lamination or a tint onto their skin. So it's very important to understand, are they doing chemical peels? Are they taking retinoids? A lot of their creams have retinoids. Or are they in general using product for sensitivity because their skin is extremely sensitive? Do you need to protect the skin properly before you apply the tint, right? So it's very important to know their skincare routine, even when you're doing lash and brow styling services. Any health issues is very important to ask. Any hereditary history that can cause these potential contraindications, right? That you have to look and see, is it going to affect any of the services that you do? How this cart should look like. I'm not understand what the cart is, Oksana. Oksana, you can email me and I can help you, because the All this inquiry that you have is different from our presentation. I can't pause and go and check now, so I'm just doing the presentation. You can email me and I'll put the email, you'll see it at the end, okay? And you can ask me all these questions, I can help you find them. Okay, Oksana? um, so sorry, giving them written questions along with verbal questions will reach different learning types, and the information on this form must be reviewed with client before you begin the treatment. So don't just get them to fill it up. You're welcome, Oksana. Don't just get them to fill it up and that's it and store it. Sit down with them after and go over it. Reaffirm what they have said and reaffirm any conditions or so forth or medication. Maybe you might ask a little bit further questions about what's this medication for, because we're not doctors, we don't know what the medication is for. But if somebody told me the medication is for their skin, or the medication is for some systemic disease that does affect their skin, like I'm going to be a little bit more mindful about that. And if ever in doubt, ask them to get you a physician's approval. Okay. Um, New clients. So when treating a new client, always begin by asking the client, what brings you to see me today? You want to know. If you don't inquire about this, they're just going to come, hi, Christy. They're just going to come in, sit down, and you're not going to be able to cultivate that relationship with your customer. And then you won't be able to satisfy them as well with what they're there for. So about at this point, the client will be able to tell you what their concern is and what they didn't maybe like from before, or what the experience they had from before, and what they would like to achieve now. Okay. If they don't give a clear answer, ask the client if there is any specific that they want you to focus in on. Okay. So if they don't give you a clear answer, ask them anything specific that I should zone in on and I should focus on. Because once again, that'll be hard for you to understand what is it that I'm going to be focusing on you. Apart from what mental wellness, most clients visit a salon spa for a reason and normally have some concerns they want to address. It is important that you focus on your client's concern. For example, they might have really fair brows where they are not visible, but their concern is their lashes. Okay, so you're going to focus on their lashes, not on something that you've seen that's visible. Something that you've seen, you can suggest something, but if they came for a certain focus on that. All other issues can be addressed, but their primary concern should be the focus of discussion. Okay, very, very important for that. So you notice something that can be worked on, you notice something that, wow, I can give them like a new look, like they're lacking something in another area, but I can make it give them a good treatment. Focus on what they're there for, and then offer them another service or something else that you can do. But don't deviate from what the reason why they're there. Okay. Use of questions, very important in anything we do in our life. Even when we do interviews, we have a lot of use of questions we want to ask because it gets us to know the person better. So a series of questions to help you speak with your client about their beauty and wellness needs. It's designed to encourage your client to think deeply about what's working and not working for them. Okay. By guiding the conversation with very pointed questions, like make sure that the questions are going to where you need them to go to so that you can assist them at the end properly, you will uncover invaluable information you might otherwise miss. So when asking questions, sit down in front of your client and look them in the eye. It's best to document their answers and keep them on file. Keep them on file because you will forget, especially if you have several customers visiting you a day. Until you get to know that customer as they come in, you won't remember all the things you discussed about them. So write them down. And before your client comes in the next visit, revisit those what you wrote down and refresh your memory. Okay. When note, asking questions not only benefits the professional, but as well the client. Asking questions can give your clients important knowledge because if you're asking them questions too, and then you're able to reply back to what they have answered, you're teaching them as well. Okay. They can in turn that can in turn give them confidence to be meaningfully involved in managing their wellness and well-being. Okay. What type of questions can you ask? Well, when was the last time you loved your hair, skin, nails, lashes, and brows? What do you like most about your skin, hair, nails, lashes, and brows? What do you like least about your skin, nails, lashes, or brows? If you could change anything, what would it be? What products are you currently using? It's nice to know what they're using as well. to be able to factor in those products as well if they work well with what you're going to give them in the service, or if they're going to be like they're not going to work well with the service. So it's good to know what they're using, what they're currently using. Are you satisfied with the results of using these products? Okay. Specific questions for lashes and brows. How long has it been since your lashes and brows were formed? Very important to ask these questions, because if they just did it last week and they hated it and you're going to do it again, you might be over processing. So very important to ask them, when was it the last time that they were formed? What bothers you about your current lashes or brows? What would you like to change? Have your lashes and brows been colored before? Are you ready? Also, excite them. Are you ready for the new lash and brow styling service? Okay. Play it back. So, what do we mean by that? So, after talking and listening, you may think you have complete understanding of your client's need, and you may, but it's extremely important that you repeat back to your client what they stated, and then and incorporate what you interpreted, right? So, if sometimes if you don't uh, repeat it back, you might have understood a different way than what they wanted. So play it back so that you get the confirmation from them. Yes, you are correct in your thinking, and that way you can proceed with the right service. This is where the magic happens, the meeting of the minds. You can either nail it or get lost in translation. So, Bianca, one of my greatest concerns is about dermatological treatments. Those usually affect the treatment, and I always take the client's file to double check if anything changed since the last appointment. It also looks super professional. Yeah, any appointment, any treatments that they do on their skin is very important that it is docked down. And if you're their esthetician that does do those treatments on them, yes, very important that you did write it down for that customer in the consultation, because any of the, what do they call it again? Like chemical peels, any of the, there's another one called microdermabrasion, any of those type of treatments, you have to be aware that you might not be able to do any of these lash and brow services until there's been some healing time and so forth. And so, yeah, you're right, Bianca. Okay, so how you can play it back. So say, what I heard you say is, and repeat at least three things from the conversation, right? Would you like my recommendation? I recommend. Throughout the service today, I will be using and showing you this product. You can decide what you want to take home with you today. Okay. And are you ready to get started? So once you've asked your questions, understanding the client, you can make your recommendations. Be bold, be confident. If you are recommending a change, say the reason why you're recommending that change. So don't just make that change on them without educating them. And then this could be to make you look younger, more modern, more fashionable, etc. Okay. Always communicate. It's a thing in our life, whether you're with your partner, with your kids, with your work, it's communication is key. Okay. So insert your expertise. Do not hesitate to give your professional feedback and give your client another suggestion if they're requesting something that is just not possible. So don't just try to insert your way because you want your way, it's easier way, or blah blah blah. It has to be only the suggestion only if you cannot do what they want. If somebody came to me and said, "Can you please do a brow lamination and a tint," and half of the brow is missing, there's no hair there for me to work with. So I'll be honest with them. I'll say, "Hey, if you still want a brow lamination for the rest of the hair, I might have to use a staining tint. If you don't have a staining tint, then I'll have to use a pencil to fill in the rest." Like, we have to be reasonable, and only make the changes if it's impossible to do. Okay. Or if that treatment that they want to get done will compromise the integrity of their hair, skin, nails, or scalp. Okay. It's so important to have real and honest conversations with your clients. Be sure you're looking at them face to face, not via the mirror. This can't be stressed enough. When speaking to your client during the consultation, be sure to use the correct terminology. Clients love it when you talk professionally to them, and make it your mission to educate your clients. They will love you for it. So yes, talk to them professionally, but educate them the same way, because they might not understand some of the things you're trying to tell them. So give them a little bit of an educational lesson as well. They will truly appreciate it. Medication and medical condition, very important. Are they taking any medication that can affect or have affected their skin? Asking them this way about their medication is less invasive. So you don't usually say, "Oh, so what's that for? Like, what are you using that for?" But you can ask them, will it affect your skin? Like, does this medication affect your skin or your hair or so forth, so that we can be more mindful. In turn, they may tell you more about what they're taking if you ask them why behind the question, right? So if you're not so invasive and intruding right away, they'll be more willing to then go into a little bit more into detail. Okay. Clients sometimes don't want to share medical information, but as a beauty professional, and to not cause any serious reactions, this is an important aspect of your client consultation. So once again, educate this to your customer. The reason why you're asking is because you want to make sure that you maintain the integrity of whatever surface you're working on. If you're working around the eye area, if you're working on the skin on the face, more gentle around the eye, you want to be able to maintain the integrity of that. Okay. Sorry. So we have an example: medication for hormone treatments, blood pressure, epilepsy, diabetes are all entirely relevant to skin condition. Any skin treatments or facials being offered, a beauty professional will need to know about of the any use of medication. Okay. Yes, even when offering lash and brow services like lash lifts and your brow laminations and your tints, skin is still involved with the treatment. So very important you ask these questions about what they're doing, what services or routines they're doing with their skin. Okay. Um, Each medical condition will indicate something that you need to be aware of when you treat your client or recommend anything for them. You also need this information for safety reasons, right? It can take just one person to have something happen to them and either sue you or give you bad publicity. Social media, the power of social media is crazy, right? So we don't want that. But for example, claustrophobia may mean that your client will not enjoy a mask over their face. Epilepsy may mean that they should not have electrical treatments and should know what to do if they have a seizure while you're treating them. With allergies, you must check your ingredients carefully, and eczema will allow ingredients to be more efficiently absorbed through the skin and risk increasing the risk of adverse reaction. Okay, so these are just some of the stuff to remember. There's a lot more. Patch test, very important, very, very, very important in any of my trainings. Even if you meet me at trade shows, patch tests are extremely important. Patch tests should be done to determine any allergic reaction to the products used during the treatment. And sometimes they might not have been allergic before, but they change your medication, and this medication now makes them sensitive, or they have hormonal changes, disruption. That is why you cannot do a patch test and a consent form once. Every 6 months, you got to bring it back to all your returning clients and redo a patch test and the consent form, because changes will happen in their lives. So, for example, if you're performing a tint, lash lift, lash curl, brow lamination, the solutions along with the glue and the tint mixed with the oxidants must be patch tested before proceeding with the treatment. So, step number one, lash perm. Step number two, neutralizer. Then you mix, glue, step number one, lash perm number two. Three is neutralizer. Four is your tint mixed with your oxidant. You label it, you take a picture and you write beside what it is, so that you know that when the client has the reaction, you know what section that's been, and you know what you will have to avoid, or if you can or cannot proceed with the service. Okay, so a patch test is recommended 48 hours prior to their first treatment. You cannot do it the day of the service, because the last thing you want to do is find out when they're in the bed that they've had a reaction. You can potentially have scarred them or caused some major inflammation, because you just discovered then, and the solution was sitting on there creating that allergic reaction. Okay. Patch, because the reason why we say 48 hours is some people can react in 1 hour, some react in over 24 hours. So that's why the 48-hour window is the best timing. Patch test for lash lift and tint. You need to clean the inner area of the forearm, inner wrist, or you can clean behind the ear here. It's a pretty sensitive area. A patch test can also be done, always said that, in the inner crease and the behind the ear. Apply small amount of selected tint shade mix with a small amount of oxidant or liquid cream or liquid, whatever oxidant you're mixing, to the clean area. For lash lift or curl, apply in one section of the skin the glue, and the other section the lash perm solution, and lastly the neutralizer. So that's why you're going to have 4 sections if you're doing a lash lift and tint or a brow lamination and tint. Brow lamination will only have 3 sections because there's no glue. Allow to dry, then wipe the formula off. Provide a courtesy call after 48 hours to see that they had no reaction, and then you're ready to have them come in for their service. That's the best thing you can do for your customers. That's the best steps you can take, and educating them why you're doing this, so they will appreciate you much more. You're maintaining the integrity of their health, their skin, their hair, which who does not want that? Okay. If a rash appears in the area of the test patch, it usually indicates that the client is allergic to the product. Do not continue with the procedure. Sometimes you can go like around it. Like if they're allergic to the glue, then you're going to put a tape on their lid and then the glue on the pad on top to stick onto the tape so it's not touching their skin. So sometimes there's ways around it, but just if they're extremely very, very allergic, maybe sometimes the best way is to stay away from doing this service. Inspect the area to be treated. So before agreeing to do anything on your client's lashes or brows, take a second and see if they have any redness or any swelling in or around the eye area, as well as any open sores or scaling skin, because all your you are processing. There is some chemicals when you're doing tints and so forth could affect if they have any open or cuts or sores or very dry like psoriasis or eczema, and it could irritate even more. Strongly recommend the use of non-latex gloves when examining the eye, as well as when tinting, lifting, curling, and brow lamination. There's a lot of latex allergies, so non-latex should be what you should have in your salon and spa. Proceeding any services on open skin can and will result in a chemical burn if you're performing a tint, lift, brow lamination, or any other skin treatment. And this as well can cause irreparable damage. Now, there is a condition called matarosis that I discovered from doing my trainings. And matarosis is when you you have bald spots in your lashes and your brows, and usually it's a systemic disease. So in order to stop these condition from getting worse, and then you're not going to have any brows or lashes, they're taking a medication. I don't know the medication name, but they're taking a medication, and that medication actually makes your skin very thin. And what will happen is that anything you do, tint, brow lamination, can burn right through the skin. So that's why it's very important that if you don't understand what the medication is for, what's this for? Please let me know if it's going to affect the procedure. Okay. Very important to assess any eye conditions and refrain from doing any services that could cause further irritation or spread. Do they have pink eye? Well, you're not going to touch them because you can spread from one eye to the other eye and to other customers. So this is important to keep your safety and health intact and not compromised, especially if the condition is contagious. Okay. In the note box says it's highly recommended to request a note from the client's physician stating that their condition has cleared up and that you may now proceed with the procedure. So if they've had a condition in their eyes, on their skin, and a physician's note will allow you to know that they're cleared and ready to be able to do the services. Okay. After you're done your inspection, if you have come upon any conditions, suggest the client come back with their skin condition when their skin condition has been attended by a physician and has completely cleared up, and then you can get that note. Okay. This is all for your safety as well. Repeat consultation on regular clients. We talked about this before, right? It's very repetitive. And when I speak, because I'm showing the importance. So when your client moves past the new stage to a regular client, it's important to continue conducting the consultation prior to starting any new services. So any new services they're going to do. So if they kept on, they're returning client for lash lifts, but now, or for tinting, but now they want to start a lash lift. Well, you're going to redo a client consultation. You're going to redo a patch test because it's a new service. Okay. You don't have to conduct a full consultation every time. However, checking in with them to ensure you both are on the same page is essential to client satisfaction. That's why I say every 6 months. So you don't have to every month do a consultation and a patch test. I suggest every 6 months, but also within that 6 months, it only takes a simple question as everything good, anything I should know, anything we should change in our files, simple like that, right? Because you've now reached to that loyalty and that friendship with your customer that you're able to talk like that. Check for any new contraindications or medication change. It can be as quick as asking them, is there anything new I should know about your health or any medication changes? It is important to check with your regular clients every 6 months, as I mentioned, for a more in depth consultation. So, daily, like every month or so, you can have that brief question. Hey, Susie, everything good? Anything I should change? Any new medication? But then every 6 months, you need to go more in depth and retake out the consultation, go through it together, and redo a patch test. Okay, and that's what I explained here, because some people also are probably going through cancer, going through chemo, going through radiation, or so forth, that they had some kind of trauma to their body, to their skin, or they've gone through pregnancy, hormone disruption, hormone changes. You never know, and sometimes you can become allergic years later to something. Okay. Home care product recommendation. Ask them during the consultation what is our something is missing. Oh, you guys can't see, but you need to ask what is their home regimen. What are they doing? With this information, you can also see what their commitment level is with the service and with an aftercare by asking them these questions. But as well, it will help and also to maintain the service that they got done. When you attend my lash and brow webinars, if I do a demo, I always stress the importance of aftercare of the styling gel. It's going to seal in the treatment, it's going to help it last longer, and it's going to also condition and hydrate, because you're maintaining that aftercare on your client's lashes after they've been processed. So the client should be purchasing the styling gel to continue hydrating and protecting them at home. Okay. If not recommending product throughout your consultation, you could be doing something that's really negative on your end. First of all, how do you move your retail products? Because I did have a retail webinar last month. You won't be able to be moving those along, but you're also not showing them the importance of why aftercare is needed. So if they don't trust you, if you're not telling them to do a home regimen of aftercare, then they're not going to trust you the next time you tell them, oh, you need to buy this. Well, why didn't you tell me this initially, that I need to provide this aftercare on my lashes or brows? Okay. So here it says your clients use beauty and wellness products, buy beauty and wellness products. If not buying from you, they are buying from someone else. So retailing properly is very important, and also showing them what do you have in the range of aftercare that will assist them. It's important to remember your clients are coming to you for your professional recommendation, not only for services, but how to duplicate their look or feeling that you had provided them in the spa salon, but at home, that they can continue feeling this way even at home as well. So that styling gel is something that's going to help seal the treatment, and they can last longer for them, and they can enjoy it at home. Okay. Written instructions. Written instructions are important for the client. They should include home care instructions. So maybe you do little postcards, right? In time, I will have postcards on our um, um, website that you can download that says what's their aftercare, like no water, no this, no that, with nice little images that you can hand out to your customer to know what to do at home. But if you have to write any instructions, it would be their home care instructions, how often they should visit, and what kind of treatment or service is needed during their treatment. Write down step-by-step home care instructions, not just the order of the product, but as well how to use them. So you might even want to create your own little protocol card that has what products to use and how to use on the backside, or what not to do and the products to use and instructions on the backside. It's how you wish to create it. Their commitment. Will they be able to commit to a skincare routine or a lash and brow routine? Find out what they're willing to do before asking them to pre-book. Ask them to do before asking them to pre-book for their next appointment or make a large product purchase. You need to find out so that you can also fit it into their budget. We don't want to overwhelm people with retail items and services, but we also want to be able to take in consideration what they can afford and what can they do. If they will be committed to getting, for example, a lash service, will they be able to commit as well to the home routine to maintain the service, as well the integrity of their lashes? So are they going to be willing to buy either the styling gel or the care balm at home to maintain? This can help you see what service to offer and what products to sell. Okay. Exposure. As well, the pandemic now is at bay, I guess you can say. But part of our consultation, it still does tend to be asked in a lot of places still. Have you traveled outside of the country the last 14 days? Have you been exposed with anyone with COVID? Do you have any flu-like symptoms and so forth? I think that's going to be a little bit with a lot of businesses. They're going to be still asking this because it also protects yourself from getting sick and contaminating any of your employees or your customers. So if somebody comes in that they're not well, you don't want them to stay there and potentially contaminate and spread. So as much as we would like to move on from the pandemic, you still must ask and remind clients that if they are sick or have symptoms or have been exposed, they should reschedule their appointment. Do not risk the health of your employees, clients, and yourself just to make a sale. Okay? Taking time. The initial consultation is the point at which you should start to build a relationship with your client. So this is where they decide if they trust you and whether they want to embark on a improvement journey with you, whether it is their skin, nails, or brows. So take your time in that initial visit. So you should once again book them in for their initial consultation 48 hours before their actual service, so you can do the patch test as well. It's worth taking the time to get as much information as possible. Photographs. During a consultation, it can be beneficial to take before pictures at the beginning of their journey to show them the difference or improve along the way. Photographs are also a good marketing tool and proof that you've done your job well. But once again, you have to get consent, okay, from your customers that you're okay to take photographs, because if you're going to post them on Instagram and so forth to show the befores and afters, you need that consent, okay? Client consultation plays an important part in the growth of your salon and spa. Ideally, professional managers should perform this process and encourage clients to participate willingly in the process while understanding their concern and providing the right response. If done correctly, you can actively engage with your clients. You can win their trust, which is very important. You can influence the decision making, and you can turn them into evangelists of your salon and spa, because they'll go spread the word and say, what a wonderful place, to take care of me. Okay. So that's the presentation from today. It was a lot of wealth of information, but I believe it's great information for us to just refresh our mind again and make sure that our consultations and aftercare is on point. Okay, more educational opportunities. Please join my webinars coming. I know a lot of people have been messaging me, Chrissy, when are you going to have a brow lamination webinar? And I'm like, yes, I will. So Tuesday, July 26th, I will have a brow lamination webinar. Great for the summer season. It's a low maintenance option to do and have wonderful brows during the summer holidays. If you're going to the beach and so forth, swimming and playing sports, you can look wow. You can have those wow brows. Also, thank you, Christian. Also, in August, we will have custom coloring. That's another question I keep on asking people. Chrissy, how do we use a bleaching paste? A lot of estheticians are still scared to use the bleaching paste. Trust me, you will overcome it and you will love using it. I am an esthetician. I'm not a hairstylist. I was scared at first and now I love it. I do it blindly. Like, it's so easy. So you will enjoy it as well. Okay. So if you're interested in any of these, please join. Go to our website. Our website too is a great wealth of knowledge. It's coming together slowly because it's myself working on the website, but there's still some great information on there for you to download and use. So register at RefectoCileEducation.com. On the main page, you can register for the webinars. And then obviously, if you want to win, I didn't want to end this webinar without giving you guys a little bit of a contest and a little goodie for yourself to use, a retail item for yourself to try it. It is the Lash and Brow Booster by RefectoCil. And if you want to win this wonderful product, which I currently use in my lashes, and it's helped a lot, along with the Care Balm. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. What you have to do is follow us on Instagram if you're not already following us. Like the post on this webinar. So go find this post right there called The Importance of Proper Client Consultation Aftercare. Drop a comment in the post, like it, drop a comment, and use the hashtag client consultation. And if you don't use the hashtag, I won't be able to enter you into the contest. The hashtag will let me know that you want to enter into the contest. And the contest will end July 18th. And we'll announce the winner on Instagram and DM you. So come on, this product is great. If you want to get it, use it, win it, start helping us out on social media. Okay. So thank you, Tawny. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And this is the final slide that I want to. Thank you, Benita. This is the final slide that I want to show so that you can see what our handles are for Instagram, the RefectoCil North America, Brawessa by RefectoCil. Both of these, the Brawessa is my training one. Please follow both. I love to feature all your work as well on both. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Bianca. Always a pleasure to have you and your help as well. Like us on Facebook, review us, give us reviews. Actually, you can get bonus entries if you also review us on Facebook. Thank you, Lisa. And our educational website, we have it there, RefectoCil Education. And any questions? So, for example, thank you, Donna. For example, Oksana, if she's still on, Oksana, education@cbungroup.com. Please message me there, and I will answer your questions about the production date. Okay. Thank you. Oh, there you are, Oksana. Thank you. So education@cbungroup.com. Thank you, Paula. I appreciate everybody's time to spend some time with me today. And if you're at any of the trade shows, I'll be leaving Thursday to head to Las Vegas. If anybody's at the Las Vegas, please come visit us at booth 871-873. I'd love to see people in person. Okay, with all that, thank you, Brandy. Thank you, Tatiana. With all that, I hope you guys have a wonderful afternoon, and keep in touch with me on social media. I love to hear your journey along with RefectoCil as well. Okay, thank you so much. Have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you, Amber. Thank you, Tani. One day, Tani. Thank you, Josie. Thank you so much. Bye, Christian.